Zone 105, good morning. It is Monday morning. I'm Brian Oak, flying solo this week. Steve Nelson's on vacation, but I'm managing to find a few people to keep me company and keep my mind occupied while Steve is gone. Joining me right now, she performed last Friday at Northrop Auditorium to a sold-out house. Tori Amos. Tori, good morning.
Hi, Brian.
How are you?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm very good, thank you. A little lonely today, as I mentioned. My regular co-host isn't with me, but I think I'll muddle through somehow.
Well, has anybody sent you a Teletubby to squeeze or something?
That's right.
They should. All my crew have Teletubbies. Some are decapitated, but anyway.
Wow, that's kind of a troubled message, don't you think?
No, well, you need to hang around them, and you'll... Too much Guinness, I think.
Liquor and Teletubbies don't mix?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, let's talk about that a little bit. You're on the road right now, and for the first time ever, instead of just you and your piano, it's you, your piano, and a full band. How's that experience been?
Really challenging. I wasn't ready to tour with a band when I did my other world tours. I really wanted to have this intimacy with the audience and the piano. And I've done that now. I did that for 2 world tours, and then the last world tour, Caton, who came and played guitar with me, we had that edition. And then for my 4th world tour, I decided it was like, Tori, you need a little butt swinging in your playing. You need a rhythm section, so.
Right. Well, now, does that help take some of the focus or the pressure off you? I mean, do you like having the band up there with you in that regard? There
are 2 things that happen, which is because you have to work as a unit. It's not just about you anymore. Heaven forbid.
Right.
I mean, you're sitting there kind of going, okay, and the bass player's pulling back, the drummer's pushing, and they're fantastic. So you have to work as, you're a team up there.
Mm-hmm.
And they're not a backing band. We're really much, I'd say, integrated as players. It's not like somebody's putting a little backbeat. I mean, hopefully that kick drum was in your stomach when you heard it Friday night. That's the idea.
Exactly. Well, your fans have always been, as far as most performers go, I mean, everyone's got their fans who plays music, but your fans have a level of dedication that really is rarely equaled, I'd have to say, and a lot of it comes from that honesty and that intimacy that comes into your music and has been there from when you first started. Does that... I mean, I know that playing live is obviously a way to express a lot of that, how it's influenced you. Does it still work? Does the therapy aspect of your music still work when you get up on stage?
It's strange because I lead a dual life. When I'm playing, I think about things I haven't thought about, if that makes any sense. I mean, I push them aside like they're relegated to shadows. And then when I take stage and the lights are off, certain thoughts that I had, little horns that I didn't even realize were popping up in my head. I start, having flashes of things that have happened that week or things that I just buried. So playing live is sort of, where the secrets come out. And the people that come to the shows have always been pretty open to it as long as I keep challenging myself and challenging them.
Yeah, well, that's certainly a challenging venue to have your secrets pop out. There's no question about that. How long ago did you get married?
4 months.
4 months, and how are you finding your newlywed lifestyle?
Well, I'm kind of blushing when you ask me because I was so opposed to the whole idea of marriage.
Why is that?
Well, I grew up in a really controlling kind of environment. I didn't feel like I needed the sanction of church or state or anything else.
Mm-hmm.
And yet when he asked me, it wasn't about that because it wasn't about church or state or anybody else.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I had to get to a point where it was the right person. So it's sort of like having I'm a big Formula One fan. And it's like this is your Formula One teammate. And it's really true. If I saw somebody trying to run them off the road, I'd totally run their car off the road.
Well, I think that's the nature of lifetime commitment right there. And not to derail that, because I like that topic, but I had no idea you were a Formula One racing fan.
Oh, yeah, I'm totally into it.
Really?
Yeah, I got a little boat so that I could race something. This tiny little 14-footer. And I've been racing it down on a river down south. I just love racing. I'm just into it.
Is it the speed? Is it the adrenaline? What do you like about it?
More the form than just the speed.
Mm-hmm.
It's about, especially when I'm on the water, how am I working with these wakes and how do I what angle do I put the boat through so that it's the smoothest possible ride, so that people aren't like falling out of the boat, like losing kidneys and stuff. It's a dangerous sport, but I'm drawn to that in a way.
Yeah, well, musically certainly as well. I mean, emotional danger. You show a lot of yourself in your music. With the new record, you seem to explore different facets of your personality and your past on each of the songs and each of the records. Was there anything that you delved into or explored on the new record that you hadn't really touched on before, or maybe something you'd expanded that you hadn't really thought of before? Maybe something you'd expanded that you hadn't really thought of before?
There was a rhythm aspect that I hadn't been in touch with, even though I have rhythm on the other records. It wasn't so much in the structure as it was on this record, like the songs were written around real rhythm. I wrote Cruel in the shower, playing bongos on my fat, which was very easy to do. And it was like, for the first time in my life, I really saw this primal, what you find in the sea. Maybe I was hanging out a lot on the sea, and I just felt how the rhythm would change with the sea and how it could be so calm, and then the next minute it was just, I didn't know if I was going to make it back out of that storm.
Getting back to the intensity with which your fans seem to enjoy your music, critics, I've noticed in the past, when they talk about you or your work, seem to go two ways. Those who get you really get you, and those who don't get you don't get you at all. And can you explain or do you have any insight as to maybe why there's no middle ground as to how people react to you?
I think that's the way with a lot of performers that are really kind of pushing limits. Mm-hmm. And it either pisses people off, or, they just don't want a part of it, or they really, really want to, kind of dive into that acid trip with you.
Right.
I think that's a strong response, because it means people are they are responding. It's not like they're falling asleep. I think a passive response is the most insulting you can get.
Right.
Somebody can really, really hate what I do, and I could probably have a drink with them, because it means I pushed a button.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Very good. Well, speaking of which, a couple last questions for you here. With the new video for Spark, or newish video, I guess we could call it, is that doesn't really seem to tie in directly with the themes of the song itself. Is that based on a particular story, or what was the motivation behind the video?
Well, the video is really metaphorical, about a girl having a really bad day. Mm-hmm. And
yeah, I'd say it's a pretty bad day.
Yeah. She didn't know how it was going to turn out, and by the end of the video, you don't really know if those two nutcases, like those kids from the Village of the Damned, it's like you're going, oh my God, if she gets in that car with them, is it going to get worse the day? Mm-hmm. Even though you know that this man is still out there trying to hunt her down. But I think Spark is really about the life force, the song. Mm-hmm. And I lost a baby. I miscarried, mm-hmm. and Spark came out of trying to really make contact with that spirit, and an appreciation for life in a way that I really, really didn't know before. So the video is kind of, again, metaphorical.
Very good. Well, have there been any highlights from the current tour, or things that have stood out, particular performances or maybe events around the tour that we don't get to see backstage that have stuck with you?
Well, we were doing shows in Europe. We were doing some of the big festivals. And Shirley Manson and I got on like a house on fire, so we're going to have a margarita when she comes to the States, so that's good. Shirley Manson, lead singer of Garbage? Yeah. Very good. What did you guys bond best on? Redheads. All right. Redheads and lip gloss.
Right. Well, the sold-out house at the Northrop Auditorium last Friday was more than happy with your performance. And, Tori, I'd like to thank you for taking the time to talk to me this morning.
Thanks, Brian.
All right. Help me fill in some of the lonely spaces there. That's Tori Amos on Zone 105.
I'll be sending you headless Teletubbies.
I'll be looking forward to it.
Okay.
Thank you, Tori.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
This just in.